Happy Tuesday, everyone. Let's get to my low, my high, my act of kindness. Actually, my act of kindness is pretty simple. See, with my grandma from Washington visiting, and she flew in, she doesn't really have a car, so my mom let her borrow her car. But my mom had work yesterday, so my grandma had to drive her to where she works at the hospital. And then later when she was done, I went to go get her. So I picked up my mom from work. That was my act of kindness. As for both my high and my low, that's actually the focus point for the focal point of this video. Because after everything that's happened, everything I've done to save the rest of 2022 and to make 2023 as great of a year as it's been so far. 10 days. That's all that's standing between me and gazing upon the waters of Keuka Lake again. You would think, since I've waited this long, what's another 10 days? Well, believe it or not, there's actually a lot going on between now and then. I mean, there's a very good chance that today is probably the only day where I'll have any kind of reprieve before everything else starts. And I barely have any idea where to begin, outside of, I guess, starting tomorrow. So, maybe I am over-exaggerating a little bit, because to my knowledge, the one thing I know for a fact that's going on tomorrow is the Masked Singer season finale. That is really the one thing that I have going on Wednesday. Why am I forgetting the day of the week? You're right. Forgive me, I've only gotten just over 6 hours of sleep. I'm not necessarily what you would call 100% awake yet. Thursday, to my knowledge, nothing really is going on. I mean, the only way anything's going to be going on is if I wind up making myself busy, or I go out and do something, or something along those lines. But for the most part, I can nary think of anything that is worth getting excited over. And then come Friday, that's when shenanigans ensue. Because starting on Friday, there's going to be a live after 5. And my family has figured out what we want to do to humorously celebrate Mother's Day. Remember, my mom was working on Sunday. We couldn't go out as a family. We couldn't do anything. Friday is when we're going to go out and celebrate it. And it's up to me to make the reservation. Don't worry, you'll hear all about it soon enough. And then there's the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. That is a weekend I'm not looking forward to. I know I told you guys in the past, over 4 weeks ago, I told you, I have 5 really event-filled weekends coming up before I go up to the lake. So this is the last weekend before I go up to Keuka Lake. And honestly, the more we've approached this, the less enthused I've been about it. For those of you wondering, my cousin is graduating from Connecticut College, which is great. I'm very proud of my cousin, I'm very happy for my cousin. And honestly, the fact I'm seeing her and family that I hardly ever see is the one thing that's making me outright say, no, it's not worth going. So why do I only just barely think it's worth going? Because I have to spend 5.5 hours. One way. In a car. And to make matters worse, as much as I've tried to say, listen, I can drive myself, my parents insist that I ride with them. What's the problem with that, though? My family, anyone in my family who's not me, specifically both my mother and my brother, are notorious for being late to everything. Every single time we've ever been late for anything, it wasn't my fault. I was ready to go. There have been times I've been ready to go over an hour before we're supposed to leave. Unfortunately, there are times where it's been over an hour after we're supposed to leave that we actually do leave because of my family. See where I'm going with this? And again, this is a 5-hour car ride. Now, we just got the itinerary like a couple days ago. And the check-in to the hotel we're staying at is at 4. And then we're going to go to church at 4. Not entirely sure how that's going to play out. But there we go. There's going to be dinner afterwards. And then like some kind of party. And I guess if there's any kind of saving grace of this whole trip is I'm getting my own hotel room. I mean, I live on my own. I'm 33 years old, so I really don't have much of a seriously, I'm a little old to be like spending the weekend in the hotel room with his mom and dad. So at least I'm getting my own room. But then the next day, which is, keep in mind, all of this is on Saturday. We're not leaving on Friday night, obviously, because we're having dinner. But we're not leaving on, but my point is, if I was driving, I could get there much sooner. I'd probably have time to go explore the town where Connecticut College is, if I wanted to. I mean, personally, I'm just going to haul it to my hotel room and relax a little bit. Maybe shower, get changed for the events of the evening, which I will do. So then there's Sunday, which the graduation starts at like 11 o'clock. And even though we should leave immediately afterwards, there's like some sort of party or luncheon at like 2 or something. So basically, when we should be getting home by like maybe 6, 7 o'clock at night, might actually be more like 9, 10, even 11 o'clock. Because my family doesn't really know the meaning of, well, it's probably coming across bad. I know I should spend as much time with my family as I can. But a 5-hour car ride, man, it's just not worth it. It's not worth it for me. That's just my humble opinion. Well, almost not worth it. I mean, my cousin's worth it, though. Frankly, over the last couple of years, if anyone in my family was old, I'm not really keen on the people older than me in my family. Anyone younger than I am, though, is cool. My cousin, who's graduating, for example, she's cool. So, there you go. And literally that entire weekend that's my entire weekend. 11 of the 48 hours I have. Actually, let me let's see. Get out of, there's 8, 48, 56. Guess another. So of the 64 hours between when my work week ends and then when my next work week begins, 11 of those hours are spent in a car. Probably longer because my mom and dad have no idea how to prepare for traffic. They want to leave later. And so, trust me, it's going to be a lot worse than it is. I'm looking at losing, best case scenario, that's a fifth of my weekend in the car. Worst case scenario, I'm looking at maybe 25%. Really goes from another shop, another 5%. Which, look, my weekends are kind of important to me. And I haven't even gotten into the whole logistics of doing another live vlog. Seriously, the last live vlog I did on between this past Saturday night and Sunday morning, that's the last one I'm going to be doing here. Again, like, the next live vlog will be in, like, my hotel room in Connecticut. And then after that, they're all going to be at Keuka Lake for however long. Crazy, right? So, honestly, for a last weekend before we go up to Keuka Lake, it kind of leaves much to be desired. Especially when a year ago, my parents and I went to this one charity gala for the church that we go to. That was actually a really fun weekend. It was a hot weekend, but it was a fun weekend. So I'm not too keen on. So it's kind of a step down from last time. In fact, full disclosure, Friday night will be the last time we have dinner as a family in this area before we go to Keuka Lake, barring some kind of obscure miracle or whatever. So after that weekend, as far as I know, that's just the thing. There's nothing exciting that's going to be happening. The Masked Singer will be over. And that's another thing I'm not looking forward to. I actually kind of want to see the end of American Idol. And I'm for sure going to miss a whole bunch of it, solely because my family wants to stay at the one picnic after graduation. What can I say, Meg? I want to see Meg and Danielle win. I'm really hoping Meg and Danielle is the next American Idol. Which, it's close. Seriously, this is actually kind of a close race. Frankly, this is the first time in years I've actually paid attention to American Idol. Then again, it's the first time in years I've actually seen someone I like make it to the finale. Which, you never know. Plus, okay, go to YouTube and look up Megan Danielle's audition for American Idol. She sang You Say by Lauren Daigle, and Lauren Daigle actually arrived to cheer her on for her audition. And Lauren Daigle is going to be at the finale this upcoming weekend. How cool would it be to see everything come full circle? There's not a lot of full circle moments I've noticed on American Idol, but anyway, to see like from Megan Danielle's audition, which Laura Daigle was there. Now you have the finale that Lauren Daigle just happens to be there. I get the feeling it's because she thought Megan Danielle was going to go far, and so, you know what, I'll save my time for that. We'll have to wait and see. I really want to see what happens. So, again, not entirely looking forward to missing any of it. But we'll just have to wait and see. Is there anything else? Well, at some point, I'm going to be helping my father put the boat in Keuka Lake. Okay, so maybe I will be going up to Keuka Lake a little bit sooner, but that's only for the sake of, it's business rather than pleasure. Because whether or not we put the boat in, it won't really feel like it unless the boat's already in. So I guess at some point next week, I am going to be helping my father put our boat in the water, which is good. And yeah, it will give me an excuse to go up to Keuka Lake and maybe take a photo or two to see what I have to look forward to. But honestly, for me, summer begins the instant I get to Keuka Lake, put my stuff in the cottage, get my swim trunks on, and come hell or high water, no pun intended, jump in and get things started. Because I made no secret, there is a lot to look forward to this summer. Holidays, birthdays, just weekends up to Keuka Lake in general. And that's what I have to look forward to. I just have another 10 days. Just 10 more roller coaster of emotions ride of days. I mean, naturally, I'm looking forward to all the good stuff. I'm not looking forward to any of the bad stuff. As for the days that are uneventful, man, I don't know. I barely have any idea what's going to be happening today. And again, I feel like this is probably the only day I may have any kind of reprieve, barring something happening. I didn't even get into the possibility of being able to see the machine when it premieres. Because I'm going to look at the Rotten Tomatoes score before I go see the movie. I hope it's good. But unfortunately, the one showing I see at Regal Cinemas is like at 10 o'clock at night. Honestly, I kind of shouldn't complain. I shouldn't really complain, considering that I literally just saw Guardians of the Galaxy at 9:30 and that movie was longer than The Machine is going to be. But it's going to be like 1 o'clock in the morning by the time I actually go to bed that day. And I have to think at some point, I got to pack my stuff up for the lake. So, Lord help me. But it's all going to be worth it. Come next Friday, which, if I'm correct, it's going to be the 26th. Yeah, the 26th. It'll all be worth it. So I hope you all like this video. If you did, like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow me on social media. Follow me on social media platforms. As always, I am very humble to make this video for all of you guys watching. Enjoy for name. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Tuesday. And remember, if any of you guys want to talk or chat, we'll be here to lend you all your back. Take care and make good choices. 607 all day, baby.